Okay, so this is actually a slightly older question. It's out of the 2022 paper. That feels like ages ago now. But I wanted an array of records example. So we've got an online game that stores a player's ID, total score, the number of minutes they played in the game, and it shows us a little kind of scorecard thing. Now I'm going to skip the first part of it and I'm going to concentrate on the array of records. So this is a kind of fairly typical pattern. You've got 2 marks for the record structure and another 2 marks for a variable. Really, it's going to be an array that's going to store 10,000 of those records. Using a programming language of your choice, I'm going to define the record structure. I'm going to be using the Python dataclass method. So I've already written in dataclass and a class. Now it doesn't give me a specific name to use. In some questions it would. So I'm just going to call it player. So I've got class player. And then this class is going to have a bunch of attributes. So we've got the ID, score, minutes that they played in the game, speed, strength, and agility. And then I would give each of those a data type as well. If I look at the unique ID here, it's not a number, it's a string. So like Zodiac 83. So that's going to be a string. And the score is an integer because I can see that in the sample data. Minutes, well, that is a real number, so in Python that's going to be a float. And then these last three, these are integers. So in terms of exam marking, if I didn't put the equals empty speech marks in it, equals 0, you've got marks for that in the past. I'm writing it in such a way that I could type that in and that would be executable Python code. Whereas if I didn't include these bits, although that would run, I might then run into problems if I actually tried to use it in a program further down the line, but that's slightly off topic. So there are currently 10,000 registered players in the game. Using a programming language of your choice, declare a variable that can store the data for 10,000 players. Your answer should include the record data structure defined in part I. So I have to use this. I'm going to get a mark for using whatever I called that. Now, I called it player. Yours might end up being called something else, but you've got to use whatever you called it. Now, there are a couple of different ways of doing this in terms of syntax. What I'm going to do is the example that tends to come up in the additional notes in the marking scheme as a Python example. So it doesn't give me a specific name to use. I'm just going to call this something like player list. You might have called it players. Personally, I prefer to make it something that's clearly quite different so that I don't get them muddled up between, say, player and players. So player list equals, and then I'm going to have square brackets, player, and a pair of brackets. And what that does is that creates a new player record, an object really, but that's more of an advanced thing, that has all of these attributes. So the empty brackets create that. So player for I in range however many there are. So in this case, 10,000. And then a square bracket to close it off. And that's me created an array of records.